channel, my YouTube channel, I can get all these statistics about what's going on my website now that I put out that video. And it's that 4-letter word. It's free. Things that you see in the statistics would be from, you can select any time period you want, so you can see increased activity for people coming to your website. You can see locations all over the world where people are coming in and looking at your website. I had no clue that I had people, in Australia coming to look at my website. It can give you information about daily use coming through, and it can also show you how many people have come in for the first time to take a look at your website. It tells you, go back here, it tells you of the videos that you have out there, what are the top ranking videos? What's the percentage of it? So when I was going ahead and doing the diesel engine performance, people kind of like to hear that noise in the background. You can see almost immediately, probably within an hour or two of posting stuff, whether people are starting to look at that video that you put out there underneath your channel. Okay, so Google product, and it's Google Video. The next one, website statistics. Again, Google comes again to give you all that information that you need. Now, the video portion is fairly easy because once you set up your channel, all you have to do is go back to your channel in the video portion of Google, and it gives you all those statistics. The website statistics, called Google Analytics, is a little bit more complicated to install because it does require that your programmer or yourself, if you're web savvy, go into each one of the pages that you have out there and put in some specific code so that the analytics product can say, okay, I understand that that page has been hit, and I'm going to start generating information. So again, we have something called the dashboard. You can set the date range that you want, and you can see, again, activity, just like you saw on the video portion of it. It tells you how many people came in, tells you how many pages they went through. Again, location, visitors coming in, and then it starts telling you other additional things that may be of interest to you. How many referring websites came in to look at you? How did they find you? Found you through a referring website, or they found you for a direct contact, or they found you through search engines. Down here in the lower right-hand side, it has the pages that were reviewed. So this first page, because I know a little bit about the internet, I know that this is the first page of my website, my splash page or my root page. But the next page that's down here that I'm seeing activity on is a page that I put out there when I was getting ready to conduct a seminar on how to apply infrared thermography to marine surveying. So that was of very good value to me, so that I knew that my marketing for my upcoming seminar on teaching people how to apply infrared thermography to marine surveying was being looked at. So, in summary, we're looking at visual and thermal images used to generate reports, like we do all the time when we're doing our reporting. We can save those, we can reuse them, and easily incorporate them into the basic building blocks required for social media. Not just YouTube, not just Animoto, but you can retweet them, you can do LinkedIn and put in all these photos that you want to help you out, to get your message across. The other thing that I'd like to talk about briefly is that, with this product here, with mobile and Wi-Fi smart instruments like this, not only can you do the video here and post it up to your website without going back to the office and downloading images, but that analytical information that I showed you is also available on your phone through different apps. So it's truly, truly becoming very mobile in their ability to market. You don't take pictures, go back to the office and figure out how you're going to display them. As you become more adept in learning how to use these products, you can do it right here at the conference. So again, adding that social media links to your website is going to promote your visibility, your credibility, and it's going to enhance your ability to demonstrate what your business capabilities are and what your services are. There's no way in the world I could tell somebody in writing on a website all the things that I do when I'm doing a pre-purchase survey. People want to be entertained, just like you're here and you start seeing advertisements for information. Are you seeing lots of flyers? No, you're seeing video content. You're seeing all these things that entertain you here, just like maybe you want to be entertained at home when you're watching your favorite television show. So, these are all the references that are up there. I'm going to leave it up here for a minute because I don't believe that you guys have a copy, a hard copy of this. If you do want a hard copy of this paper, my website is my last name. That's ALLINSON.com. I'd be happy to send you the PDF if that interests you. And again, you can always come to this marketing seminar that's going to be here at 5 o'clock, where there'll be a panel of other people on board talking about different things on how they're doing marketing. No presentation would be complete without doing some acknowledgments of people that helped. This gentleman right here, Ken English. You know, back in January of this year, I attended a conference, and Ken was talking about social marketing and social media. For a long time, I've always tried to put things up there on my website to do my own video, to do things that try to let people know what I'm doing. And when I met Ken back in January, he brought all this together for me, this concept of using Animoto primarily, because I've done video with YouTube before. In fact, I have a video out there where I was in South Africa and I used a thermal imaging camera to catch a great white shark breaching out of the water. But it was complicated. It was hard for me to do it. It took a lot of time. The Animoto product for me helped immensely. There are lots of other products out there. As you become more interested or more versed in what kind of social media products are out there, you might find something different than Animoto. But for me, it worked quite well. By February, just a few weeks later, we were having a boat show in Jacksonville, Florida. And so I went out and took pictures of that before the boat show was happening. Still pictures, billboards, getting ready to do the announcement of what's going to happen at our boat show. Posted that up. A few weeks later, I had a customer from overseas, an international customer from Turkey. The broker that was doing the deal understood English fairly well, but her customer really didn't. That boat that you saw that we were doing the sea trial on and the diesel engines and stuff like that, I did separate Animoto videos for them so that not only did they get an extensive report telling them how things worked, but they could also look at the video. An extensive report in English for somebody who doesn't really read English very well or let alone speak it, that type of visual that comes through really helps immensely. In fact, the last 3 jobs that I got from them were basically because I had that ability to communicate beyond just written words. My last image, and then I'll take some questions. You heard Tom Scanlon talk a little bit this morning about spot radiometers. And here is a diesel engine where I did some infrared along with the the engine surveyor that did his spot radiometer. We both came out with the same information, that the temperature of the engine was running at about 186 degrees. Normally, the way engines run, at least in the marine area, is you want them to be on the cusp of running so hot that they blow up, but just a little bit below. And the reason why it's just a little bit below is because you want to make sure all the lubricating fluids inside that engine are working at peak performance. If you make the engine too cool, then the oils become viscous and there's a lot of friction built up. So, rectangular box here around the oil filter, which is that sneaky little place that all the people who do marine surveys for engines use their spot radiometer. That's the easiest place for them to get contact. They don't shoot the engine block, they shoot that. What was very good about this is that the gauge at the helm station for this particular engine was running hot as well. Now, on an older boat, these gauges are more analog than digital, and so you don't really know whether that needle is accurate or not. In this case, it was. The gauge at the helm said, more than 180. Spot radiometer from the engine surveyor said more than 180, and we didn't know this until we collected information several days later. And the thermal image showed the same thing. So, clearly, there are a lot of applications to be using infrared imaging on boats because, quite frankly, a boat is a home that moves on water. So we look at the air conditioning systems, we look at rotating machinery, we look at electrical systems under load, and yes, we also do look at the hulls to see whether there's been any previous damage or water intrusion. So, I believe that I'm ready to take some questions if anybody should have some.
Question in the front here? Get a microphone.
Yep.
Okay. I have a question. Did Ken help you pick out the shirt too?
No, he did not. It was really funny. Does anybody know of these Tervis tumblers? The quick answer is no. Okay. I was at a place where they sell plastic tumblers in West Palm Beach, and these people had shirts hanging in the window. They didn't normally sell shirts, but they had been to an island and they saw the shirts, and I said, wow, that's great. So now I buy a lot of shirts from them as well.
Is that tumbler built into it?
It could be.
My question is, the music and other things that go with the Yamamoto service, does that include your rights to use those from whoever wrote the song and all that sort of stuff? Is that all included as a part of the Yamamoto service?
The answer is absolutely. You have different genre that you can pick. You can listen to them ahead of time, and you can pick any music that they have out there. You can also upload your own music if you have the copyright for it. So again, a very easy service to get to select all different types of images in the background and different types of music. There's probably at least 200 different songs and about, maybe 40 or 50 different genre that you can go through, whether you want jazz or acoustical music. That's the short answer, yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, about your website or social media, you have some statistic right here.
Yes, thank you.
And do you know how many prospect or customer is going on your site and how many competitor is going on your site too?
How many what? What was that last one?
Competitor.
Competitors?
Competitor.
Yeah, my website is very open. I publish what I charge, and I figure that if a competitor is going to beat me on price, so be it. Quite frankly, I hate to say it, but I'm at the point right now, is that if my service has to be terribly price competitive, typically what happens is the person that's bargaining on price is calling me later and saying, I don't like the word used on page 4. In page 8 of that report, I don't like that either, and then, so what I'm saying is, I'm very firm about my price because once I change that, then people think that they can negotiate what's going to come out of my mouth in terms of the condition and the value of the report. Statistics, yes, I can always ask that person when they contact me, how did you find me? I found you through your website. And the website goes ahead and backs up. I'm not going to that individual that's coming through, but it's sort of like, yeah, I'm from Australia and I found your website and it was interesting. I need to know some more information about what you can do for me. I think there was a question right up here, Paul.
What is your general usual charge?
It's out there on the website. And to be quite frank, I'm not shy about charging for my knowledge, especially when I'm teaching seminars on how to apply infrared thermography to survey. But it's out there, and you certainly can use it if you want to be a competitor.
One over there, guy.
Okay, Walter.
What do you use for your website to organize it? And
What do I use now, or what am I going to use? What I use now is something that I started doing websites back in '96, actually before '96. And as you can see, my website is colorful, but it's somewhat outdated. I am going to be moving over to something like WordPress in order to do information out there that looks a little bit more like you would see on a written page.
One more here, Jack.
Okay?
The Animoto, this slideshow or video, do you have to have your website enabled for Flash to use that?
You know, that's a very interesting question. The question was, and you obviously are using maybe some products that aren't Flash enabled, but Animoto does give you the opportunity to embed video in different formats. The latest thing they came out with in the last month was something called HTML5. So you can use anything that you want. Some of the stuff that I had out there was Flash, and I got a little frustrated when I started using one of my mobile products and nothing was coming up. And it's sort of like, I'm trying to market to people that aren't at home. I want them to be able to look on their smartphones and products like that to see it. I do have a way to do it now. Does that help you?
Questions?
We got Paul running, but he may be running to,
Well, he's
for
got
exercise.
a question for you.
Well, wait.
You were talking about.
I just wanted to add a comment about Flash, and that is, I heard this morning that Adobe has finally dropped Flash, and they're moving to HTML5 too. So
Thank you for that
Flash is
information.
officially dead.
When you were talking about the importance of keeping your website current so it lists well in the rankings, the search engine rankings, how much time a week do you spend updating your site?
I would say I spend probably about 5 hours a month updating my website. And now I'm using things with the social media. My website's updated while I'm here at the conference. I just do something, I press a button, and out it goes. So it's very easy now.
Before you sneak out of here, Jack, your certificate, prove that you survived this,
Thank you.
and your very own copy of the FLIR Amazon Kindle ebook reader.
Thank you so much.
And go home empty handed. Thank you so much. Okay, a few reminders before our final keynote speaker this morning. At 1:30, right after lunch, we're going to be starting our first round of building thermography presentations right here in the Platinum Room, while those of you in the condition monitoring predictive maintenance track will be attending our full lineup of clinics. Please check your schedules, those printed schedules for your locations, and we do have signage outside breakfast rooms on those locations. How many of you entered the IR photo contest this year? Well, they canceled it. There weren't enough entries. So I guess the four of you guys, you'll just have to resubmit them for next year. Give you more time to get that perfect shot for the chance to win a new FLIR camera at InfraMation 2012. So don't throw the photos off. And stay tuned to information.org for upcoming details. And remember, tonight at 6, that's the big welcome reception and poster presentations. Lots of great hors d'oeuvres, drinks, and dinner, and of course some excellent door prizes, including our drawing for a new FLIR i7. Had your eye on that one, a great opportunity to network, learn from the poster presenters, and hopefully have a whole lot of fun. Now our next presenter, I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but law enforcement agencies were among the early adopters of infrared camera technology. As you can imagine, tracking criminals on the run, even the stupid ones, can be extremely challenging, particularly at night. That's where airborne law enforcement plays a crucial role. Our final keynote speaker this morning, Kevin Means, is an expert on the subject. He's a former helicopter crewman of the U.S. Navy. Kevin's been a San Diego police officer since 1981. He's worked as a patrol officer, an undercover narcotics detective, and gang detective. And for more than 20 years has been assigned to the Air Support Unit as a pilot and tactical flight officer. He's a certified flight instructor in helicopters and airplanes, and is the unit's helicopter training officer and night vision check airman. Please welcome a man that's been around, Mr. Kevin Means.